So, welcome today from Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey to the Species on the Edge 2.0 Challenge info session on research and solutions. And I am Dina Heist-Depew from Empower Trip here with my colleague John Henry. And we are going to be talking today about how to investigate and take action. We're going to focus on two key parts of your project: how to research your species effectively and how to turn that research into real, meaningful solutions. So we want to make sure that you start with safety first. Make sure you're following all your school and district policies and that you're always working with your teacher and facilitator to make sure that you're staying safe. Make sure that you run any contacts with outside professionals by your facilitator and that you're properly supervised. And be professional and respectful in all of your communications with outside professionals. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to start by really understanding your species. You want to know where your species lives, what challenges it's facing, and is its population growing or declining? You also want to know what roles it plays in our ecosystem. And this foundation will guide you through everything you're doing with your project next. Now we're going to talk about resources that you can use to assist you with your project. One of your most important resources, obviously, is right in your own school. You have environmental science and biology teachers, school librarians, and other professionals who you can reach out to who are a wealth of information and who can share ideas with you. Another one of your most important resources is the Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey. Their website has detailed species information, conservation efforts, and real-world research you can learn from. Their biologists work directly on protecting endangered wildlife in New Jersey. They do this through habitat restoration, monitoring species, and public education. So reaching out to a biologist with Conserve Wildlife allows you to learn from real experts who are truly working every day in the field. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Division of Fish and Wildlife website is another valuable tool that we can use when completing our project. This website provides detailed information about endangered species in New Jersey. The website explains conservation efforts, programs like habitat restoration, and how scientists and organizations are actively working to improve wildlife. Here you can click on your species, learn more about its habitat, population, and details. In addition, the site offers practical ideas for action. It includes guidance on habitat improvement, managing invasive species, and ways communities and students get involved in conservation efforts. You can also look beyond your school. Local colleges and universities often have professors studying ecology and biology or environmental science. These experts can provide valuable insights, but again, always reach out through your teacher or facilitator. Local and community agencies can also provide information about your species and conservation efforts in your area. For example, Liberty State Park offers hands-on environmental education programs that teach students about local ecosystems like the Hudson River estuary with a focus on conservation and protecting wildlife. Adventure Aquarium in Camden provides interactive exhibits and educational programs about marine life, including endangered aquatic species, helping students understand ocean conservation and biodiversity. So if you reviewed your kit, you'll realize that once you choose your scenario, you'll be stepping into a real-world role, a career path, like a nonprofit director or a research scientist, to tackle your scenario. Reaching out to those professionals in organizations is a great way to learn what their day-to-day work life really is. Connecting with experts can give you practical insight and help make your project feel more realistic and impactful. Before you dive into creating your solution, make sure you're using sources responsibly. As outlined in the kit, you'll want to give clear credit to organizations, experts, or material you use, whether that's data, images, or quotes. If you're pulling information from a website like the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection or a conservation group like Duke Farms, be sure to cite them properly and follow any guidelines about permissions. This not only strengthens your project's credibility, but it also models real-world scientific and professional ethics. Now let's get to the heart of the challenge, the problem solving. Once you understand your species and the threats it's facing, whether that's habitat loss, pollution, climate change, or human disturbance, you'll want to start brainstorming solutions. A good place to begin is by asking, what is the root cause of the problem? Who or what is contributing to it? But remember, we're not here to point blame to any group or organization. We just want to note that and then really consider that when we're creating our solution. Where does it happen most? From there, think broadly. No idea is too small or too big at first. You might want to consider restoring or protecting the habitat, educating the public or changing behavior, influencing policy or local decisions, or something like using technology or design to reduce harm. Some techniques you might be able to try include questioning, like how might we reduce plastic pollution affecting this species? You might also want to include mind mapping different causes and solutions. Looking at what's already working in other places and adapting it is also a great way to protect your species. Your solution can take many forms, and the best ones are often creative and realistic at the same time. For example, you might want to create an awareness campaign. That could include social media ads, school events, posters, or short videos to change behavior. Another option would be a habitat project, such as building a pollinator garden, installing nesting boxes, or helping to restore local wetlands. Community action is also a great way to protect your species. This would include organizing cleanups, workshops, or partnering with local groups. Another option is to design or invent a solution. This could include creating barriers, signage, or tools that reduce harm to your species. A final option might be policy ideas, such as proposing changes to schools, towns, or community rules. The key is to match your solution to the problem and to your resources. Once you have an idea, the next step is to test and improve it, just like real scientists and designers. Start by asking, does this solution actually address the problem? Is it realistic with time, budget, and materials that we have? Then you'll want to create a prototype or pilot version. This could be a sample campaign, a small test habitat, or a draft design. Get feedback from others like teachers, classmates, community members, or even experts in the field. Reach out to organizations or professionals to ask, would this work in the real world? What would you change to make it better? For example, someone working at the Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey could offer insight if whether a habitat is practical. Use that feedback to revise and strengthen your solution. At the end of the day, this challenge is about thinking like real problem solvers. It's about understanding an issue, designing a solution, and making a difference for a species in need. We are here to help, so if you have questions, please don't hesitate to email us or contact us. Here is our email address and the website for the Species on the Edge 2.0 challenge, and best of luck to all of those competing.